Hello my gorgeous little love bugs out there, and welcome. In today's video I'm going to do another project pan update. This is project pan update number 3. Oh my god, we are moving along. The year is almost over, so I'm excited to show you guys the progress I made and things that I will be adding to this rolling project pan. But before we get into this video, if you're new here, hello, welcome. My name is Bree and I'm just a crazy lover of all things beauty, and I like to post a lot of fun and colorful makeup content. I like to do a lot of indie makeup, so if that is what you're into, then please hit that subscribe button and join this little family. But with that being said, let's get into this video. I cannot believe we are at another project pan update. I cannot believe October is almost over. Before you guys know it, it will be the end of the year, and it's crazy, but this has been a really fun ride. I have been really enjoying doing this project pan. It has given me goals. It has helped me concentrate on specific products and use things up, and I feel like I'm making so much progress. And I was worried that I wasn't going to be able to do this and actually commit to it, but I've been doing surprisingly well. So today I will be adding some new things to this project pan, since this is a rolling one, and I will continue to do this next year and the year on and see how much I can use up. And at the end of this year, or when I do my 4th project panel, will probably be at the beginning of next year, I will show everything that I used up in the year prior, so we can really see the full results. But I think we should just dive in. I will show you guys before photos of the products and how they look now. There are a few things that I haven't touched too much, but I'll let you know when we get to that point. So I think we should start off with complexion. So I had a few primers in my little setup. I think it was this one right here, the Banana Bright Face Primer from Ole Henriksen. Now, I still have some in here, but I've used this quite a bit. This is a product I can't really have you see what I used up, but it's all kind of collected right here. I know by the next update, this will probably be done, because I've been using this a lot as just like a daily moisturizer. So this will be over before you know it. Now, the other primer that I've been working on, which I've used so much and you're about to see, this is the Touch and Sew No Problem Primer. Now, here it is. I marked it where it was in the beginning, and now this is where it's at. Isn't that insane? It's not even really pumping anymore. Like, I have to open it up and dig out the product, but I'm really happy with this, and I'm sure by the next update, this should be done, because I have 3 more months to the next update, and I've done this much damage in the first 3 months. Like, that is so good. Now getting into foundation products, and I haven't finished up any of them, but I've made significant progress on these foundations right here. So this is the L'Oreal Infallible 24-Hour Fresh Wear Foundation. I have 2 shades. One's my summer shade, one is my winter shade, but lately I've been mixing the 2, and I have marks of where I've gotten to. So the last update that I did, I was at this line on both, and now I'm here on this one right here, which is my darker shade, no, my lighter shade. But this will be perfect once we get in the even colder months. I'll be using this a lot. And then here is 470. I'm almost done with this. I can't believe it. I'm almost finished with these 2. So this is great, great progress. Then the next foundation is the Physicians Formula, the Healthy Foundation. So I don't think I made that much progress on this, because I haven't been using it that much. I've still been using it as a concealer, like I said in the last update, because this is too light for me right now. But I'm slowly fading as the winter months are hitting, so I'm sure I'll get more use out of this in the next 3 months. And in that last video I did, I mentioned how I couldn't see where this settled at, but because it's been sitting for a while kind of untouched, it finally settled and I can see where it's at, so I marked it. I'll show you guys. So I'm pretty much halfway through on this foundation, and I had the darker shade in my project pan and I completely used that one up. So I'm sure I could get this at least to the 4th way mark, you know. I think I could do some damage on this. Then the next foundation, which is one I don't think I've really used at all since the last update. I think maybe once I mixed this into a darker foundation, but this is too light for me. So I have to wait till I start to fade a little bit more. But this is the Estee Lauder Double Wear Light Foundation. I think this was replaced by their sheer makeup that they have now. But this is another product I can't really see where it's at because you can't see any settling or anything, but I'll show you guys just how the bottle looks. I need to make more of an effort to use this, so hopefully I can get through more of this by the next update. But honestly, this hasn't been getting that much love, if I'm going to be real. And then going on to concealers, and here's where I did really well. I actually finally used up this concealer. This is the Tarte Ultra Creamy Shape Tape. I swear this was a never-ending product. I never thought I was going to finish it, but I'll show you guys the container and I'll show you guys inside. It's kind of hard to see on the outside, but it's pretty much empty. I even put a brush and digged in there to get the stuff that's at the bottom. Like, I was that dedicated to completely using this up. So I'm so happy to be done with this because it's not my favorite concealer, but I don't like hate it. I'm kind of just like neutral about it, but I'm just so happy to be done. I'm so happy to be done with that. So I will be replacing this with another concealer in the Project Pan. And then I also had the other concealer. Where is it at? This is the Tarte Shape Tape, the original one. I've just started using this, so there's not a lot of progress with this one. There's a lot still in here, so I need to work on this, but because I was so focused on using this up, I didn't really touch this one. So now I have time to love on this, use it a lot. It's definitely a full coverage, more matte concealer, but it's fine. I'll get some use out of it. Maybe I can mix it with my more creamy concealers. But yeah, this is where we're at. The original OG Shape Tape needs some love. And then I also have this one from Too Faced, which this is technically a concealer, but I use it more as a foundation. And I've actually finally seen where this one settled, because the last time I wasn't able to show where it settled either, but I went in with a brush to scrape the sides and like follow down to where it was sitting at so I could see, so I can actually know where I'm at. So I'm gonna mark that and I'll show you guys where this is at. And I have shade Warm Beige. That's why it's more of a foundation. It's too dark to be a concealer. I think I got this in a like subscription box, so I didn't have a lot of options on colors to pick, so I just went with the one that would be more of my foundation shade, and it makes a beautiful foundation. High coverage, you need very little just dot around your face and it fully spreads. It's like a satin matte, long wearing, so if you need something that will last, that gives tons of coverage, I highly recommend this. And you get so much product in this. It's 0.5, that's a lot for a concealer, so I'll have to work on that. But I mean, I'm like 3/4 of the way. That's not bad, right? I've been using this as a foundation quite a bit. So now let's get into powders, and I actually finished one of the powders up. So I was working on the NYX HD finishing powder, which kind of broke, so it was more like a loose setting powder at one point, but this is where I had marked it, and now it's empty, y'all. I've been using this to set under my eyes. I mean, it looks a little dirty, but she has been panned, and I'm happy with that. So I've used this up. And then the other powders I was working on was the Kimchi Chic Puff Puff Pass Set and Bake Powder in Banana. This one is pretty much at the final stages. So I'll show you where I've marked at and look at where it's at now. It's so low. I'm at the point where I'm like kind of struggling to get the powder out because there's just so little. I'll just mark it for good measure. So that is where it's at. That is where the little bit of powder is. The little bit of baby powder. Yes, so this one too, I use pretty much every single day, even when I film, unless I'm like testing or trying out a new powder. So we're almost done with this bad boy right here. I cannot wait to finish that, because I'm a person who starts getting bored if I use the same products over and over. Then the next powder is from Nomad. This is the Close Up Smoothing Pressed Powder. This has a lot of pan in it now. I'll show you guys the before photo. You guys will see, here's the outer packaging. And then there it is. Look at that huge pan. Like, this is so good. I can't believe how far I've gotten with this one. And I've been concentrating on the kimchi chic one a lot. So I'm surprised I got this far. But basically at the edges on this one, I have high hopes that I can finish this too by the next update. And is that it for powders? Yes, that was the only powders that I had in here that are like individual powders. And then going on to bronzer. So we'll start off with this Gigi Gorgeous bronzer. This was from Ipsy. It was like a collab with Gigi Gorgeous. This is not something you can get anymore, but I was just making a go to use this up because I used to have Ipsy a long time ago. So that's how long this product has been sitting in my collection. It's so dirty, but this is pretty much exactly the same as the last pan that I showed you guys. I haven't been touching this as much because I've been focusing on the other palette that I'm about to show you. So this needs more work, but this is a little bit on like the lighter side. So this is gonna work perfect for me in the winter time. When I got like a lot of tan in the summer, it was just a little too light. So that's why I haven't been focusing on it. But this will have its time to shine this winter. And then the next product is a face palette. This is the Park Avenue Princess Chisel palette from Tarte. This is the main palette that I have been using for my bronzer and like, you know, setting a little bit on the eyes or doing any kind of brightening or cleaning up. This is the main one I've been using. Like in all my videos, this is basically the bronzer that I have on. And when I go to work, this is also the palette that I always use. So show you guys up close. And then look at it. Look at all that pan. There's only one shade that has no pan in it. It has a slight dip, but I haven't been using this one as much because I feel like it's a little bit on the darker side, but I do mix it in with the other bronzers. But I think one of these powders didn't have any pan in the last video that I did, and I don't think this one had pan in it. I don't know. It was like two that now have pan in it, so that's a lot of progress. Now, I feel like this is going to take me time to really use up because it's a lot of powder. It takes time to go through bronzers and press powders, but hopefully I could get at least one completely done by an update. I feel like I could do that. At least maybe with this one and maybe this one or maybe this one. I don't know. As long as I can get one fully done, I'll be really proud of myself by the next update. But I made a lot of progress on that. And then let's get into, I guess, blush products. Now, one blush I've done a lot of work with. The other one, not so much. And I highly doubt there'll be any updates by the next go around of this kind of video. So I was working on the Burt's Bee blush in Toasted Cinnamon. And this is my go-to everyday blush. Like I use this pretty much every day for work. So that's why I've been able to really hit some pan on this one. But here's the container. It's so dirty. And there it is. The last time I showed you this, I had a very teeny little pan, but it's gotten a lot bigger. And I'm pretty sure it's going to get bigger as I go because I just think this is just such a everyday wearable blush. It goes with any look. It's pretty much like a nudie brown kind of bronzy shade. So no matter what I'm wearing to work, this will always go with the look no matter what. So I have high hopes that I can get a huge pan in this by the next update. And then the other blush I was working on is the Natasha Denona Mini Bloom blush. I've used this though. I've used it a couple times this summer or even more than a couple times, but this one is firmly pressed in the pan. And it's just really hard to use this up because it has good pigmentation. So you need very little to get color on the cheeks. Then going on to lip products. And this is probably a very minimal progress area because I use so many different lip products all the time. But I was working on the Nabla Lip Plumper. This is what I use before I put on like matte liquid lipsticks or lipsticks just to get them moisturized and nice and plump. The only way I'm gonna know this is finished is the day I twist this up and nothing comes out. So one day that will happen. I also had these lip balms, which I think I made progress on one. Yeah, I think there's one that has very little, but these are from Juvia's Place. I'm gonna twist them up. Oh yeah, I'm almost done with one, yay. The other one, not so much. So here's the pink one, I forgot. This is Passion Fruit. This is where it's at. I use these a lot, so I'm sure I can finish this one up. I also had these Just a Tint lip products from ColourPop. This is the one in Z Boys. I'll show you where it's at. I hope I have progress on this. I'll have to look at the before shots since I won't really know in this moment. But this is where it's at now. This is like a peachy one. I keep these in my work bag and I use them quite a bit at work, but lip products like this are just really, really hard to go through. And then this one is in Rise and Shine, which is what I'm wearing on my lips today. And I've definitely used this one more because I feel like this goes better with cool tone looks. And I tend to wear a lot of cool tone looks, especially like if it's nudie looks, they're usually cool tone, and I wear a lot of nudes to work. So the eye primers that I was focusing on was these two right here. So I had the Zoeva Eyeshadow Fix Matte Longwear Primer, and guys, I've used this up. I'm pretty sure I have. I've tried to squeeze the product out, but this is what it looks like. And I'll show you guys. Nothing's really coming out of there. Oh, and I'm trying. So yes, this is done. This took forever to use up, but eye primers are one of those things that take a million years to pan. Like, you just need a little product. So it takes forever to go through something like this. And I have so many eye primers in my collection that I feel like I rotate through them a lot, but I have made an effort to go through this. I travel with it. Like, I've just been concentrating so hard on using this up, and I finally got to that point. Yeah, whoop whoop for me. So this is all done. And the other primer that I had was the MAC Painterly Paint Pot and Soft Ochre. This one I think is pretty much at the same place because I was so focused on the Zoeva one that I wasn't really focusing on this one. But here it is in the pot, and it has a big dip in it. Like, it goes pretty far in. So I'm just going to keep concentrating on it. Maybe I can hit the bottom pretty soon on this. But it is getting old. I feel like it's kind of slightly drying up. So I really need to finish this up before it goes completely bad. So of course, I almost forgot to mention a product. I always do this, but this is a Pure Cameo Contour Stick. I've used the bronzer side quite a bit, but I'm not sure if it's really going to show any progress. But there is the contour bronzy side. I'm going to end it where the plastic ends. So this is where it's at. Actually, you know what? I might have made some progress on this. I don't remember when I was looking at the last video where this was at, but this is where the bronzer stick part is. And then there's a highlighting side, which this is the side I don't use as much, because really, I don't really highlight that much. But if I remember to when I'm using this, I'll try to make an effort to use this side. But this is where the highlighting part is at. Not too bad, not too bad. I feel like it takes me a long time to go through cream products since I tend to go towards powders more than cream products, but I'm trying to get more into cream products. Like, I have a lot, I just don't remember to use them. I think that's what the problem is. So that was everything in my project pan. I was able to use up 3 products, which I think is really good, and I'm happy every time I'm doing these updates, I have products that have been completely used up. So I'm very happy with these results. So now for the products that I'm going to add. So since I used up this Tarte concealer, I'm going to add the NYX Born to Glow Radiant Concealer. I really like this one. I've used it a lot. And when I go into the winter months, I like more hydrating concealers under my eyes because my skin gets a little bit more dry in the colder months. So I'm going to focus on this beautiful concealer right here. So this is getting added into the project pan, putting it in my little bin here. And then since I used up this concealer from Zoeva, I'm going to add the Kaleidos Tone Activator Eye Primer. I've had this for a while, and I've been using this a lot. I'm really loving it, so I know I can make some progress on this one. This one's a little bit more liquidy, but I really, really like how this makes my shadows last on the eyes. So I want to add that one. And then to replace the HD finishing powder from NYX, I'm going to throw in the LYS Triple Fix Setting Powder. This is actually in my fall daily makeup drawer. So I was like, you know what? I might as well add it to my project pan as well. It's a really nice setting powder. It's lightweight. I love using this as like a touch-up powder too. So I want to make some progress on this, and I enjoy using it. So it won't be hard for me to, you know, work on panning it. And then since I'm almost done with the Puff Puff Pass Powder from Kimchi Chic, I feel like a couple more sets and this is going to be done. So I wanted to add the Cover FX perfect setting powder. I recently used this in a Shop My Stash and I loved how it looked, and I've had this in my collection for a while, so I feel like I need to start focusing on it. So to replace this one once it's done, I'm going to start using this one. So that was everything for what I'm going to add and for this project pan. I have been enjoying doing these videos and having these goals to work towards, and this project pan has also reminded me on how long it takes to use a product. So I've been buying less makeup, especially like in the complexion category, not so much with eyeshadow palettes, but for sure concealers and foundations and powders. Maybe I bought one powder this year. Maybe I bought one foundation. I don't even know if I bought a foundation this year, and I think I've gotten a few concealers, but a lot less than I normally do. Like I would just buy like all the new powders, all the new concealers, so I wanted to try new formulas, but I've been scaling back from doing that because I realized I have a lot in my collection and it takes forever to use them up. So I need to buy less of those products. Hopefully one day I can do that with eyeshadow palettes. That is where I'm struggling at. But anyways, guys, that was everything. You will have to let me know your thoughts in the comments below. Do you think I did some progress? Do you think I could do better? Are you doing a project pan? I would love to hear from all of y'all. Also, if you're new here and you enjoyed this video, you like project pans, you like things on indie makeup, colorful makeup, then please hit that subscribe button and join this little family. I'd love to have you here. Also, don't forget to check out the description below. I'll put any of my project pan videos that I have done, other videos of mine you might be interested in. I will also link all the products that I mentioned in this project pan, as well as what I'm wearing on my face, even though it's a very neutral makeup. In case you are curious what I'm wearing, I will link that. I will also have my contact and my social media platforms. I'm also on Instagram as Breezy Lifestyle and Breezy_Beauty, and I do post a lot of different content there as well. So if you want to join my Instagram fam, I would really love that. Anyways, guys, thank you so much for taking the time to watch this video, for being here, for being amazing. I appreciate you guys all so much, and I hope you are doing well wherever you are in the world, and I'm just sending you all so much light and love. But until next time, bye guys.